NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Right, they've been a buzzword. You've been seeing a lot of excitement around it, so much so that the Indian taxman has also taken notice of NFTs and the digital assets and decided that they should fall under the income tax net. That's not what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about is a lawsuit which could actually fundamentally challenge the definition of NFTs, how they're traded, how they're dropped on marketplaces, and all of that. It's a lawsuit that has actually been brought on by Nike. Nike is deciding that it's suing the online marketplace StockX, which is actually a reseller for streetwear, sneakers, that and more. But it's also had on its marketplace what it calls to be 9 exclusive NFTs, which are then linked with Nike sneakers. So Nike has decided it wants to go ahead with a lawsuit. How is this? What is this going to mean for Web3? What is it going to mean for NFTs? I'm going to reach out to Nishchal Shetty because he's also running a marketplace for NFTs. Hi Nishchal, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much. Are you folks tracking this lawsuit very closely? It was filed on Feb 3rd.
It'll be definitely interesting for the entire NFT ecosystem globally, if you think about it, because until now, I think there's not been a formal lawsuit, and at least not from a company the size of Nike. So it's definitely going to be something interesting to have a close watch at and see what the outcome of this will be. So yeah, I think we're definitely keeping track of this.
So basically, StockX built a system in January and launched NFTs that were linked with physical goods. Nike says this is infringing on its trademark, it's infringing on its IP, and basically StockX is taking advantage of the Nike trademark. But Nishchal, the fact is that this is all no man's territory, right? I guess that's the excitement of building a brand new world, which I'm talking about, Metaverse, Web3, all of that. The point is that whichever way this lawsuit goes, how binding is it going to be on all marketplaces? Is it going to be the first precedent?
Look, it depends because you have two aspects here to NFTs. One is the whole centralized platforms where there are companies that are running them, and then you have the altogether decentralized platforms, completely not under the ambit of any particular company in any country. So as long as centralized entities are involved, I think you can always impose these trademark related laws. But the question is what happens to decentralized platforms where there's no company, there's no country or location that you can hold them to. So that is going to be tricky. And I believe for a completely decentralized platform, it will be more of a community-driven responsibility that the community should probably adhere to, not get into plagiarism. And I think it might be prudent for anyone to not get into this battle because the NFT actually loses value. So if you think about it, if someone's going to build an NFT which tends to use an existing trademark, I don't think the NFT community would want to buy those NFTs. So I think the industry will course correct depending on all of these outcomes of these cases. And eventually, I don't think these problems will exist in the industry overall.
So, someone who's running a marketplace for NFTs, now, NFTs are supposed to be all about decentralization, but Nike, of course, is raising a very pertinent point, right? Now, as we all know, when you have a blockchain, once it's in it, you can't edit it. So if it actually traces back to Nike, the question is, how was it dropped in the first place? I'm asking a very basic question for the benefit of our viewers. There will be many who will be going on NFT marketplaces, looking to buy NFTs, and why wouldn't a sneaker fan say that, okay, I want this digital asset?
Look, I think if you think about a bit of a background, Adidas has really gotten deep into NFTs. In fact, they were partnered with a few like the Bored Ape NFTs. They bought one of their own, and they're getting deep. And it's obvious that I think Nike would also want to get into the NFT sector. And when you have your work being used by a different platform where you're not involved, that sort of dilutes your own initiatives. So I think that is probably what is causing such discomfort to Nike, that their designs are being now used in the metaverse without them being involved. So I think that's where this whole lawsuit is also stemming from, and I think I look forward to Nike officially as well joining in. I don't want to comment on whether the approach taken by this platform is the right approach or not. I think we should wait for what the courts say.
Of course. Yeah, and Adidas, Dolce Gabbana, Prada, they're of course dropping all of those NFTs and using, Polygon, which did start from India. But still the point then I want to come back to is for all of our viewers who might be bitten by the NFT bug, might be looking to trade NFTs, buy NFTs, what should be some of the do's and don'ts? I don't want to get into what this particular marketplace is doing, but it has raised a very pertinent point, right? And this is no man's land. And I'm guessing royalties will have to be taken care of at some point or the other.
Yeah, I think the first and most important is, at least if you're getting into NFT, look for originals. Don't look for derivatives or something that is being done on top of an existing work, because that's muddy waters right now. It's not, you're not sure who owns the copyright. You're not sure whether there will be a lawsuit later. And if you're owning an NFT which derives on existing work, you might also be a party to that later on. So the best way is to go for purely, NFTs that are purely based on original work, and the artist or the author is the one who's a part of it. I think that's the safest way. Something even more safer, what the community is doing is all of these 10K projects that you're looking at, like Bored Ape, for example. These are really original concepts, and that's what the market has really taken up to. A lot of these collections, or they're called as collections, where there are 10,000 NFTs of a concept which has been created from scratch. I think those are the kind of NFTs people are looking at. Apart from that, authors or artists who are putting their original work online, I think that's also gaining a lot of traction. So that's less of this whole, the muddy waters where, is it owned by the person who's creating that NFT? I think there's less of that really working out well in the NFT space. It's more the original work which is actually really taken off.
So then how should one, as a buyer, be discerning about, it's not a plagiarized NFT? Original works can also be plagiarized, right?
Yeah, I think, the thing is, this will never be easily solved. What we are hoping is, as time goes by, there'll be new services that are built to verify and authenticate. Sort of, you give a rating to every NFT eventually. But right now, I think this is where you'll have to rely a bit also on the platforms that exist to take a call. But ultimately, I think nothing beats your own research. You'll have to do some basic research to understand whether this is something of an existing artwork which is used as a derivative, or whether it is really original. Sometimes a simple Google search also, goes a long way in helping you find out whether this work already exists or not. So yeah, I think right now it's all DYOR, do your own research is the most important thing.
You have to always do your own research, whether you are looking to buy digital assets or even that in the equity